Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is okay and having a good trading day. So it's been a little bit bumpy lately, but I think we should still be okay for like the rest of the year. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna show you the YieldMax total return stats from the beginning of the year all the way up to July 31st. I did the cutoff at like around 4:15ish. Eastern Standard Time, so like the estimates might be a little bit off for some people, but I think for most folks this should be good enough. So let's just get into it. So I sorted everything by like the best total return whenever possible. Try to use figures as of January 2nd, but obviously there are some funds that started after that. So you see this in the inception column. So for example, MSTY started February 22nd, but like, obviously so far it's the best performing fund at almost 96%. And then the next one is NVIDIA at almost 82%. And then, hopefully NVIDIA will do well in the August earnings. And then you can see kind of everybody else sort of starts to kind of like have a dramatic like drop off. Especially with CONY. I was a little surprised at that, but CONY obviously with Bitcoin and other crypto, I expect this to kind of like bounce back up, and then you can kind of see like the rest of the top five, NFLY and AMZY, at almost 25% each, still pretty respectable. And then Phoebe had like a bit of a drop off at like 15%, but a lot of the Mag 7 names have been taking a beating. And then you kind of see like everybody else. So YMAX, still a respectable 10% for only 7 months. And then obviously like a lot of names got beat up recently. So you can see kind of like a dramatic drop off. So even with like the relatively positive earnings for recently for AMDY, like they're still only like 1.5%. So that's nothing to write home about. Whereas like for MSFO, the street didn't like the Microsoft earnings, but it's still holding up, 11% July year to date. And then you kind of see some as I scroll down a little bit, you can start seeing like some interesting names like dips. Oh, I think I might have missed like the inception date, but chips and dips. This is the NVIDIA one, so I'll put in the date afterwards. So it's pretty new, so you can't expect like too much up or down. And then like same thing for FIAT. That this came out relatively recently as well, May 21st for FIAT. So opposite of Coinbase. So I thought this would do a little bit better, but not yet. And then let me just scroll down a little bit more. And then I kind of like highlighted like the bottom five in like kind of like the reddish color too. So even like YBIT, I was a little surprised, but like it probably came out at like a bad time. So it's only down like 7.7%, so it's not the end of the world. ULTY was doing okay, and then they kind of like had a slip up for this month year to date. What's really interesting here, I made a comment in another video that it's possible for TSLY and CRSH to both underperform at the same time. And unfortunately, I was right. But even that, still, it's not the end of the world. TSLY, well, I mean, Tesla was doing okay, and then the street didn't like their earnings, so like now back down for year to date July. But there's still hope, either up or down. So regardless, CRSH. Oh, I think I made a boo boo in some of the inception dates. I'm sorry about that. I think when I was sorting, I didn't include. Oh man, sorry about that, guys. So I guess like ignore like the inception date for now. I have to see what happened when I did the sort. So obviously, some of these got messed up here. So sorry about that. So but like the figures themselves, they should be accurate. I mean they look okay. Like So for example, AIYY, went down. It's like the worst one at 18.9, well, almost 19%. But you still, like on average, like you see like a 12% price depreciation for everybody on average for YieldMax. But it's still overwhelmed by like the distributions at 21%. So like a net, we're for YieldMax in total, they're up like 9% year to date. And then this is just like a quick stat summary of like the winners and losers. So you can kind of expect like on average to win 62% of the time and lose 38% of the time. Well, up to like July 31st anyway. So everything was pulled from the YieldMax distribution figures, and then also the prices are pulled from like the Thinkorswim platform from Charles Schwab, and of course like I put this together. So thank you for watching. I hope people are making good money out there despite some of the recent rockiness. I'll see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye now.